Yo, what's up everyone? Hassan Minhaj here, and today we're diving into one of the most complex and volatile relationships on the planet, India and Pakistan. Buckle up, because this is a wild ride through history, conflict, and the ever-present threat of nuclear war. It all started back in 1947. After centuries of British rule, India finally gained its independence, but the joy was short-lived. The British decided to split the former colony into two countries. India with a Hindu majority and Pakistan with a Muslim majority. This partition was a messy affair, to say the least. Millions of people were displaced and violence erupted across the region. Amidst this chaos, the fate of one region remained undecided: Kashmir. Kashmir, with its stunning Himalayan beauty, became a bone of contention. Both India and Pakistan claimed the region, leading to the First Kashmir War in 1947. The First Kashmir War ended in a stalemate, but it set the stage for decades of conflict. In 1965, India and Pakistan clashed again in a full-blown war. This time, the fighting was more intense and widespread, but it ultimately resulted in another stalemate. Just 6 years later, in 1971, the two nations went to war for a third time. This conflict was sparked by the Bangladesh Liberation War, with India supporting the Bengali people's struggle for independence from Pakistan. The war ended in a decisive victory for India, leading to the creation of Bangladesh. These three wars left deep scars on both nations. They also solidified the Kashmir dispute as the most dangerous flashpoint in South Asia. In 1974, India shocked the world by conducting its first nuclear test. This move was seen as a direct response to the growing military threat from China, but it also raised alarm bells in Pakistan. Pakistan, fearing for its security, embarked on its own nuclear program. In 1998, both India and Pakistan conducted a series of nuclear tests, sending shockwaves across the globe. The world watched in horror as two sworn enemies now possessed weapons of mass destruction. While the threat of nuclear war loomed large, the conflict in Kashmir continued to simmer. Pakistan-backed militant groups launched an insurgency in Indian-administered Kashmir in 1989, aiming to secede from India. India responded with a heavy military presence in the region, leading to widespread human rights abuses and a brutal cycle of violence. In 1999, the two countries fought a limited war in Kargil, further escalating tensions. Despite a ceasefire agreement in 2003, the line of control that divides Kashmir remained a volatile border. Ceasefire violations, cross-border firing, and militant attacks continued to plague the region. Section 5. A controversial move. India's Article 370, Revocation. In 2019, India's Hindu nationalist government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, made a controversial move. They revoked Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, which had granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir for 7 decades. This decision stripped the region of its autonomy and integrated it more closely with India. The move was met with outrage in Pakistan and sparked widespread protests in Kashmir. India argued that the revocation of Article 370 was necessary to bring peace and development to the region. However, critics saw it as an attempt to change the demographics of Kashmir and cement India's control over the disputed territory. Section 6. The Pahalgam attack, pushing tensions to the brink. In April 2025, tensions between India and Pakistan reached a boiling point after a horrific terrorist attack in the Kashmir Valley. Gunmen targeted a group of Hindu pilgrims in the town of Pahalgam, killing 26 people and injuring dozens more. India immediately blamed Pakistan for the attack, accusing it of supporting the militants responsible. Pakistan denied any involvement, but the damage was done. The attack sent shockwaves through India and triggered outrage among the public. Section 7. A delicate balance: military strength and nuclear threats. India, with its larger economy and military, holds a significant conventional advantage over Pakistan. However, Pakistan has a trump card: its nuclear arsenal. Pakistan has repeatedly stated that it will not hesitate to use nuclear weapons if its existence is threatened. This doctrine of nuclear brinkmanship has created a dangerous dynamic in the region. Both countries continue to modernize their militaries and expand their nuclear arsenals. This arms race only increases the risk of a catastrophic conflict. Section 8. The World on Edge: International Reactions to a Potential War. A full-blown war between India and Pakistan would be a global catastrophe. The human cost would be immeasurable, and the economic and environmental consequences would be felt worldwide. The international community is acutely aware of the dangers posed by the India-Pakistan rivalry. Major powers, including the United States, China, and Russia, have all called for restraint and dialogue. However, the complex geopolitical landscape makes it difficult to find a lasting solution. China's close ties with Pakistan and the United States' growing partnership with India further complicate the situation. Section 9. Fueling the Fire: Nationalism and Propaganda. Both India and Pakistan have long used nationalist narratives to rally domestic support and demonize the other. This propaganda war has poisoned public opinion and made it even harder to find common ground. In India, Hindu nationalist groups have gained increasing influence in recent years. They portray Pakistan as an existential threat and accuse Muslims of being disloyal to India. In Pakistan, the military and religious leaders have often used anti-India sentiment to bolster their power. They portray Kashmir as a symbol of Muslim resistance against Indian oppression. This toxic mix of nationalism, religious extremism, and historical grievances continues to fuel the conflict between India and Pakistan. Until both sides are willing to break free from this cycle of hatred and violence, the threat of a catastrophic war will continue to hang over South Asia. Peace out.